Ooh boy, y'all. Eric has did it, y'all. He finally took the time to make a video addressing all the nonsensical nonsense that's been happening, and I'm here for it. Hey world, what's good? It's your boy LG, and I'm back with another video. And today I'm gonna be doing something that I haven't done in a while, a video reaction. And not just any video reaction. I am going to be doing a reaction to one of Eric's videos that he just put out a few hours ago. Unfortunately, I was knocked out sleep at the time, but I happened to see this on my my X feed, and I was like, you know what? Instead of me starting to watch the video, it's like, I need to react to this because there's some shit that I want to add to this. So let me just go ahead and react to it, and we're gonna go ahead and get into it. The title of the video is "They Lied About the Entire Thing," Beyond the Narrative, #1. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get to it. It's a pretty lengthy video, so you know, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it, shall we?
Before the Rippaverse took off, I was everywhere, interacting with fans, critics, and even the haters. But once the Rippaverse exploded, my life changed. I made a promise to myself, my family, my team, and our customers to focus on being a better professional for the sake of this business. Unfortunately, some saw that as an opportunity. Without me actively addressing things, drama farm and content creators filled the gap, floating lies, taking things out of context, and spinning narratives unchecked. And while there are plenty of people that are pushing back and defending me, it's rarely creators with big platforms. So
That's true. There's a lot of us that are out there, you know, pushing back at the nonsense, you know, like myself from time to time, Renown Zero out there doing it. There's a few other people. And I know somebody's going to take that sentence of what he just said out of context. I personally believe that Eric is grateful for those that do stick up and defend the narrative that, you know, against the narrative that's being pushed out. You feel me? And he's right. A lot of the bigger creators, they don't push back. Mainly because a lot of them, they got their own thing going on too. Let's call a spade a spade. A lot of them got their own thing. A lot of them are doing YouTube and doing their own little thingy thing, and you know, they don't have the time to, you know, continuously go back and forth, which is fair. It is what it is. I'm not necessarily, like I said, mad about it. It's not a dig at us or anything that do defend that happen to have smaller channels. Not a dig at all. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not going to take it as such for you little loser clowns that like to do that.
a lot of people, especially the perpetually online, start believing the lies. While most of this nonsense hasn't impacted the business, it's not for lack of trying. These people go out of their way to go after anyone who supports me or the Rippaverse, fans, business partners, even colleagues. They don't deserve that. So I'm starting this segment Beyond the Narrative as a simple place for people to reference when the usual nonsense pops up. This isn't me going back to monetize your haters, and I'm not diving back into the YouTube grind.
So real quick, I even talked to Eric about this on mine, because for those who don't remember, I actually had Eric July on the Empress Court podcast. We were talking for a bit, and I think if I remember correctly, I brought it up. And one of the things that I had brought up was the reason behind him doing the monetize your haters. And in my personal opinion, I believe he was doing the monetize your haters. The name was just a kind of a, I wouldn't say a misnomer, but more of a clickbait type thing, because really he was looking more of a for conversation with these people. Even if people disagree with him on certain things, just a civil conversation. And the people that did show up were anything but civil. You feel me? So unfortunately, you know, that's one of the reasons why I believe he kind of like eased up on it, because a lot of the people just weren't really the brightest of the bunch, and those are some of the people that are still going at him to this day.
YouTube isn't my focus anymore, so I'm not chasing content. I'm spending 20 minutes recording this, passing it off to my editorial team, and getting right back to work. These segments are here so that fans and really anyone who supports what we're doing have a central place to point to when someone brings up one of these tired talking points. Whether you want to reference it, share it, or just have the facts, it's all right here. So let's get into the first issue. There's a lot of fake information floating around about the weirdo who got arrested outside of our meetup. So in this...
The weirdo. Busted. Let's go.
This video, we're going to break down some of those myths. A YouTuber who I wasn't even familiar with called my operation a scam and then posted a wall of text review. Still in my content phase, I addressed that wall of text in a video. The review was clearly bogus, and I broke down exactly why. We focused on what was said, not who said it. It was...
Yeah. And if I remember correctly, I'm a name drop, because if I remember the name, I'm name dropping. I don't give a fuck. They can get mad. Yeah, I believe this is Dick Masterson's review when he tried to review it, and it just got shot down because a lot of it was just bullshit.
pretty even killed in basic. This is why I never even mentioned where it had come from. This sparked a whole conversation about good versus bad faith criticism. Instead of focusing on whether or not the review itself was legitimate, some people tried to twist the narrative, acting as if I was attacking all criticism, but that was never the point.
That point, yeah, that part, because the criticism wasn't even, it was coming from a place of you were doing it intentionally to be, it was literally, quite literally bad faith criticism. Let's just call it for what it was.
Focus was on the veracity of what was being said. If a review is filled with false things or made up nonsense, why would anyone take it seriously? It's like if someone told you the sky is green and gravity doesn't exist, you wouldn't sit there debating it like it's a valid opinion. You just dismiss it because it's objectively false. Same thing here. If something is clearly untrue, why would anyone take it to heart? If you're wondering where...
So the difference with this, though, here's the different part. Keep in mind, at the time, ISOM was a new thing. It was new, and a lot of people didn't get access to ISOM. So at the time, a lot of people didn't have access to ISOM, so they couldn't see it. The thing with sky being green, and we see that every fucking day, you know, in Gravity, we see that every day. ISOM was a new project at the time, you know, for the Rippaverse. So when you have somebody that's doing bad faith, which is done in purpose, it's done to basically get people off from the get-go, which explains how devious this stupid shit is. You get what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense.
One of the biggest fake narratives started, it was this. And if you don't believe me, check out Dan Cotter's thread where he dismantled that review point by point, complete with receipts. It's a
Dan. Yeah, I remember. Shout out to Dan Carter for this. Yeah, he I think I remember this.
Masterclass. Apparently that critique of the critique bruised the guy's ego. From that point on, he declared me public enemy number one in his own little one-sided war. Then one of his lackeys...
Keep in mind, he's going to use that a lot. I got a feeling he's going to use it a lot. Because like I said, I watched some of this before reacting. But he's going to use that a lot. One-sided war. Because a lot of it is one-sided.
Decided to inject himself into this imaginary feud for some internet clout, the things people will do for content. Here's where it really gets weird. I never interacted with this guy, not once to my knowledge, yet out of nowhere, he built his entire online persona around me. He ripped off my podcast, copied the logo, and became obsessed, even with what he chooses to call himself, and then his whole bit was threatening to shave me. Weird stuff. Again.
Weird, yeah.
This wasn't a one-off thing for a bit. His entire online persona became this. And again,
And also, we got to keep in mind, too, let me also make this clear. Dude ended up losing his Twitter because of it. And I think it's YouTube, I think. If memory serves me correctly. But for sure, his X account got nuked. Several of them, actually, got nuked because he kept going. But anyway.
Never engaged with this guy. He just decided to become the useful idiot of YouTubers that were desperate for content.
Useful idiot. Eric is being nice about it. Eric is being nice. Useful idiot isn't what I call it, but you know, we'll go with that, sure.
But he kept escalating. It went from this weird internet obsession to real life. He doxed my home, bragged on YouTube channels about driving by my house, threatened my employees, and even said he pee on my ancestors' grave. It crossed the line and spilled into real life, and that's what led to his arrest. And literally any other context, we'd all agree this is a deranged stalker. But
that's exactly what it is. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. That's exactly what it is. There is no other way to put it. This is derangement at its finest, bro. Like, do this to a female streamer. The dude will be under the jail in 2 seconds. You know what I'm saying? But it's deranged either way you slice it. I don't care. And that's one of the things that I don't like about this shit. Like, at all. I don't care if you don't like Eric July. I don't care if you disagree with his comics, but dog, going to his place of business, going to his house, threatening his employees, you know what I'm saying? All of that shit, and trying to actively stop his money. Y'all are some next level retards. I'm just gonna put it to you straight like that. You can get mad at me for it. I don't give a damn.
But because it's me, people twist the narrative, so they started floating lies around just to justify it. I'm going to show you exactly how we got here and break down the myths along the way. Myth number 1, Eric told his critics to pull up. This is a completely
false. That is completely false, because that is not what he said. Not what he said.
Out of context statement and irrelevant to what actually happened. First of all, I never told any individual person to pull up. The context was simple. I was highlighting how energy online is always different from how it is in person.
That part. He's been saying it. I've said it. Other people have said it. Renown Zero said it. A lot of folks have said it. I don't know where people get this idea from. Perpetually online idiots, bro. I'm telling you.
That's still true to this day. Whenever we're at events, it's nothing but love. In this particular case, I was talking about the difference in energy leading up to Fan Expo. I said if anyone had something they would like to discuss, they should come up and we could hash it out like men. And I was explicit. I said, let's talk. Let's hash it out. Let's talk about it. Let's be men. But here's where the dishonesty really kicks in. People twisted that into me calling for a fight, or worse, as if I was calling out the stalker. But that video was from May of 2023, before the stalker even started his new shtick. And this wasn't a one-off statement. Back in March of 2020.
Now, he's been saying it though. Like, he was saying it for a long time.
Before I addressed the other guy's wall of text, I tweeted using the term pull up, clearly talking about being civil. It's a basic term that you have to go out of your way to misunderstand. I've even talked about this same concept in videos emphasizing staying civil during disagreements.
Man, ain't nobody fucking about to go fight no motherfucker over no YouTube, man. Come on. Well, who you think I am? You?
Yo, I ain't even gonna lie, that shit hard. That's facts though. Imagine fighting somebody over YouTube, bro. That's crazy.
Abide by the non-aggression principle. These are words. I might not like what it is you say, but I won't punch you in the face for it. That's what I
see Eric being nice about it.
Think it's funny, and they think because, well, they're on a crusade, well, it's fine. Okay, I can do it. I can try to ruin these guys' businesses. I can claim they're frauding people. I can try to do all of that stuff, and it's okay because they think they're on a crusade fighting the bigots and the fascists and the racists and the misogynists. Like, they make up crusades.
That part. That's all this is a made up crusade, bro. That's all this is a made up crusade. That's it. I'm telling y'all do not care really about comics like the way y'all say y'all do. Because if you did, you'd be here champion Eric July right now. You would, honestly.
You can disagree with me all day long, but you don't lie.
So to wrap it up,
that part.
Entire pull-up narrative is false. It's intentionally taken out of context to paint me as some tough guy trying to fight his critics, when in reality, I was talking about having conversations face-to-face and how direct confrontation isn't inherently bad. And even with all that being said, there's no world where anyone can justify just showing up at someone's house or place of business. That's not discourse. That's crossing the line.
That part. That exactly. Showing up to somebody's place of business isn't, or house, is not acceptable. Like, I don't know where they thought that was okay. And no planet is that all right. No planet is that acceptable. I don't care if you like me, don't like me. Showing up at somebody's house because of a disagreement, fucking stupid.
There's a huge difference between public conversation or even private civil conversations and doing what took place there.
Yo, what is this? See, this Clipper guy wants to be Ripper. He ripped the Ripper logo. He clipped his clips. Clipper is a real dip. Just say it. A real dipshit. You can get mad at me. I don't give a fuck. I said what I said.
Anyone acting like those two things are the same is being willfully dishonest. Myth number 2, and possibly the most hilarious one. Eric called the cops because someone made fun of him on the internet.
No.
Never happened.
No.
I've been in the public sphere since 2006, and trust me, there's no shortage of people talking trash about me online, yet not a single one of them has ever had the cops called on them. Think about that. It's almost like you'd have to do something specific to make that happen. Here's what actually happened. The stalker weirdo, the one who built his entire persona around obsessing.
I like the fact that they're using this dude's mugshot. The mugshot.
Over me, found my home address. One of the biggest lies that spread is that he got my address because my employee supposedly copyright struck him, revealing it. That's completely false. A couple of things here. No one from my team, not an employee, not legal, no one sent him a copyright strike that revealed our address. There are 0 receipts to back up that claim. Instead, he used other people's screenshots acting like they were his to inject himself into this one-sided feud.
Then also, I think he also, Eric, I don't know if he put this in the video yet, but when he did get hit, when he ripped off the logo, the site that he used to put the shirt on, they copyright struck him. It was an automatic copyright strike. So it wasn't necessarily, Eric July or the Rippaverse that did it. It was an automated system that just caught the logo, caught all of that and said no and shot that shit down.
To be clear, if he had received anything from our legal team over using our logo, it would have been a trademark issue, not a copyright one.
Right.
And even then, anything sent to a platform where he was monetizing our symbol wouldn't include the address of the location he showed up at. That information simply wouldn't be a part of it. You would never find a verified email that was his showing my team or legal issuing a copyright strike that revealed our business address, because it doesn't exist. He got that from someone else. What happened is this: the stalker obsessed with me used others to dig up both my home address and one of our business locations. This business location wasn't public. It wasn't listed anywhere, nor was it ever used as our return address. While it was inevitable that someone would eventually find and share that information, which is exactly why we have man security, that's what actually happened. You can see how that kind of information could be misused to target innocent people, whether it's me or my family at home or our employees working at the building. This wasn't about someone making fun of me online. This was about someone crossing a massive line. Before we
That part. And I y'all need to understand this, right? It's one thing to kind of like make fun of people. It's one thing to, you know, joke around and all of that shit. But these people are literally blurring and crossing a line. Okay? I want y'all to realize that these people are literally trying to blur the line so they can cross it. Okay? Trust me, it'll make sense in a minute.
We get into the day the police were called, let's talk about just how unhinged this guy was. Here's what we're dealing with. He randomly started obsessing over.
Pay attention now. So pay attention, y'all. I want y'all to pay attention. This dude, this is from the same person, different account, because this last one got hit. Now he's got another one.
Over me, building his entire online persona around me. He said he peed on my ancestor's grave, then claimed he actually did it, and then said it again, even tripled down on it. Then he doxed my house and openly said he was planning to escalate. And of course, he did that again. And when it was all said and done, he went on this unhinged rant.
Prepare yourself for the bullshit, people.
I am the lore keeper. I am the canon keeper. I am the Dokuman card maker of it.
You don't even, what the fuck, bro? Shut the fuck up, bro. I really wish I could skip this part of the video, but I gotta go through the whole thing. Grin and bear it. Bro, shut your dumb ass up, bro. How do you think you run somebody? You can barely run up a damn hill without getting tired. How you gonna run somebody's life? Shave your own arm hair. Stop, I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna try not to roast him too much.
Eric July and of his life and of his fortune. I'm going to tell his story. I'm going to watch every episode of his show, comment on it, and yell at my girlfriend during. And then when my girlfriend dies or leaves me, I'm going to spend the rest of my life making a Chris Chan documentary-esque documentary on everything Eric July has ever said or done wrong.
Bruh.
Now, whoa. So, imagine, if you will. Imagine, if you will. This ugly ass nigga try to talk about he's gonna dedicate his life to fucking with you. The fuck is wrong with niggas? The fuck is wrong with him? Oh, Jesus. Okay. Chill.
Every convention that he goes to from now on will be a business expense for me. You threatened to kill me!
No, he didn't. And if he did, and if it did happen, the world wouldn't miss you. I know that sounds mean, but some people just need to be told. This shit isn't, it's no longer funny, bro. Like, this shit isn't, it's not funny at all, bro. Like, people like this honestly need to be put in a mental asylum somewhere, bro. This is derangement behavior, bro. Because if he did this to a woman, y'all would lose y'all shit, bro. But because it's Eric, it's okay. We got to be able to take it. Man, fuck that, bro. This is some bullshit, bro.
And now, I'm going to earn that death, Eric! I'm going to earn your murder! I'm going to show up in Denver Comic Fan Expo, and I'm going to come up to your table and I'm going to yell, "Holy shit, help! That guy has a gun! He's trying to kill me with his gun!"
You move like a woman. That's something a female would do, bruh. Imagine talking all this tough shit on the internet to sit up here and scream to the police like a little bitch. So which one is it? Riley, which one is it? I want to know. Are you a man or a bitch? I'm trying to figure that one out.
I'm gonna make security check that you don't have a gun in your fucking waistline, like you threatened to have. at the next Comic-Con that I
He never.
go to. You threatened to shoot me, then you hired armed security. We'll see, Eric. I'm gonna make you kill me, or you're a fraud.
Yeah, completely deranged. But here's the thing. I've never threatened this person. Any mention of me or my security being armed has always been in the context of defending people and property. Shortly after this happened, I even joined a stream where I questioned whether his actions could be acted upon legally. And while his appearance could be considered criminal mischief, at no point did I ever say I would use arms against someone just for putting things on our windows, even if legally justified. That's why I said that that was a non-point. What I have said consistently is that you shouldn't violate the private property rights of others. Simple as that. Now,
Like, how hard is that for y'all to understand, bro? How hard is that? Seriously, I want to fucking know, how hard is it for you to disagree with Eric July and leave it on the internet and call it a day? Oh, I'm going to show up to this, that, and the third. I'm going to do this. Okay. All right.
Now let's talk about what actually went down the day he got arrested. One of our warehouses sits deep in a private lot. The back and the sides are fenced off, but the front of the building is an actual lot. Here's how that played out. During the day, he showed up and recorded himself outside of the lot on the street. Like I've mentioned, our side of the business park has only one way in and out unless you have gate access on the other end. So if you drive onto our side, you have no choice but to turn around and head back the way you came. That's exactly what he did during the day. He drove past the front, turned around.
Yo, whoa. This is real footage?
You came. That's exactly what he did during the day. He drove past the front, turned around at one of the gates, and circled back through the lot while filming. And this is exactly why I've said before, if you end up at our business, you either went out of your way to get there or you're completely lost. You can't just cut through as some shortcut. And even if you were heading to one of our neighboring businesses, there's no reason to be directly in front of our warehouse suites. You can't really get there by accident, but our security team.
Yo, this dude, this dude, he got you on. Got caught in 4K. That's crazy.
Noticed this and called the police, but he had left before they arrived. But it didn't end there. That night he came back. He stuck things on our windows, talked to his camera, and then said he'd keep doing this. Because of the time, I had to go to the warehouse myself and deal with the police directly. Now, after all that, some people still say Eric called the cops because someone made fun of him on the internet. Well,
that's stupid. No, because at that point, it's a security issue. Like, this is how stupid y'all are online. At that point, it's a security issue. Somebody else called the cops, noticed the issue, and called the cops.
They're liars. The police affidavit is clear. It states, a fine was assigned investigative responsibility of a stalking offense. The affidavit even notes that I had been disregarding the Twitter videos, but grew concerned when it crossed into real life. Sure, there may
that part
be some minor inaccuracies, or rather it's just worded weird. For example, we discussed the novelty scissors he carried, but I never said that he brought them directly to our building, or at least our front of the warehouse. But the key facts are solid. The affidavit mentions the doxing, his plans to escalate, and the stalking behavior that crossed the line from—
which is funny because they don't ever mention that part. That's weird.
Online nonsense to this real world thing, specifically bringing it to inappropriate places. It can't be made any more clear than this, as it reads after I saw the surveillance footage. Quote, he now took the threats seriously and realized that he should have contacted authorities sooner. July stated he's gone too far with this. July stated he is not worried for his safety, but more for the safety of his employees.
Which
and
is
when
fair.
It comes to
that part, right? So that's the key thing, right? What a lot of your weirdos don't get is that y'all trying to get at Eric. And in trying to get to Eric, you're trying to basically put other people at risk. And you know what? I'm starting to think a lot of it is intentional, because y'all trying to get it to where nobody will work with him because you're trying to make it seem like, well, Eric is an unsafe person to be around. That's the problem with you clowns. Like, and it's always, nope, I'm going to save it till later.
This stalking bit, if you want to pull that whole card of, well, they're not actually stalking, it's odd because this person explicitly stated that that was what they're doing. Literally, it says, I'm literally stalking. So yes, upon the advice of our security and legal team, I made the decision to call the police. I run a multi-million-dollar business. I'm not some drama-hungry YouTuber chasing content. I'm also in my 30s and I don't care about looking tough. I'm not some thug like I trended towards when I was younger. Those days are long gone. I couldn't care less about how machismo it looks for a business owner to take precautions, especially when safety is on the line. The police report even outlines that. If this were Joe Blow's corporate company, nobody will blink an eye. No one will make a video or tweet threads if any other business owner took the same steps. But because it's me, suddenly it's a scandal. And that brings me to another ridiculous narrative. Eric was exposed as a fake libertarian because he called the cops, they say. I'm not some low-bird idealist floating around in theory land. I'm fully aware that we don't live in a libertarian social order. We live under a system where the law doesn't care about my personal principles. Let me break that down. The state doesn't care how libertarian I am. It doesn't care that I believe in minimal government interference. What it does care about is whether I follow the rules it set. And if I don't, it has the power to crush me and my business. Much like I'm legally required to pay taxes, get permits, and file copyrights, I also have legal obligations when it comes to running a business, especially one with employees. And if I decide to ignore those obligations because of my personal beliefs, the government won't give me a gold star for sticking with my principles. It'll hit me with lawsuits, fines, and open the door to criminal or civil liability. That's the reality. And ignoring it doesn't make me principled, it makes me negligent. In Texas, there are clear laws that dictate what I as an employer am required to do to ensure a safe work environment. Under Texas Labor Code, Section 411103, employers must, number one, provide and maintain a reasonably safe and healthful workplace. Number two, implement safeguards and processes necessary to protect employees. Number three, take all reasonable actions to prevent foreseeable harm. Negligence, in legal terms, happens when someone fails to take reasonable precautions leading to harm. And as a business owner, I have a duty to care to my employees. If
that part, exactly. That all of this right here. You're talking to people. You're talking to people. I was going to wait till later, but fuck it, I'm gonna say it now. You're talking to people who don't have any business sense or business sense, as Eric would put it. They don't care about owning a business. They don't know how it works.
If I know about a potential threat, especially one that escalated to stalking, doxing, and such, and I don't act, I open myself up to massive liability. And
that part, yes.
This isn't just theory. It's backed by real cases. Consider the tragic incident at Legacy Good Samaritan Hospital in Portland, Oregon. In 2023, a security guard was fatally shot while protecting a maternity ward. The assailant had exhibited threatening behavior prior to the incident, and staff had reported these concerns. However, the hospital's inadequate response led to a $35 million lawsuit alleging negligence for failing to address the credible threats. This case highlights the dire consequences of not taking proactive measures when faced with potential dangers. When our legal and security teams advised me to call the police, it wasn't because I was scared of some internet troll. It was because if anything happened and I hadn't reported the credible threats, I would have been liable.
That part. And then he would have been liable, and it would have escalated and would have got worse.
If I'd ignore the stalking, doxing, and threats, and something happened to one of my employees or to me, I would be...
Why they do him like that? Why they do him like that? Poor Alex. Poor him. Why they do him like that?
Be sued for negligence. I could be held personally responsible for not taking proper precautions, and my business could be held civilly or even criminally liable. Calling the cops was a proactive step, not because I needed help dealing with someone making fun of me online, but because I had to ensure that in the event anything escalated, I had done everything legally required to protect my business and my people. That's the key here. The law doesn't care about whether I'm a libertarian or not. It cares if I took the proper precautions. The internet and its politically posturing libertarians couldn't do a thing to help me if something actually happened. Being libertarian doesn't mean being naive. It's about advocating for a change while understanding that within the system we're stuck in, you need to be smart and protect yourself or risk losing everything. Now here's the part where some folks start really shifting the goalposts. He was just joking. It was never going to go that far. Right.
That's the biggest crock of shit. Okay.
Until it does. Here's the thing, I'm not a mind reader. I don't have the luxury of peeking inside someone's head to see if they're actually joking or if they're a ticking time bomb, especially when the person in question is already acting unhinged, stalking, doxing, making threats, and crossing boundaries that any normal person wouldn't. There's also this key bit that a lot of people fail to mention. When folks would go out of their way to try to cover for him and give him an out, he'd go out of his way to say that he never claimed that he was joking.
Thank you.
Right here. Again, it's only a joke until it's not. That's the game people love to play.
That part. And it's literally online people. It's literally online people that have nothing to lose. This nigga, I'm sorry, Riley ain't did shit. He ain't shit. I've done a reaction to his so-called music. His music is ass. Okay? And the people that support him are just as ass. You can get mad at me for saying it. I don't give a fuck. That's not an invitation for you to go through my old videos and try to figure out. No, I don't give a fuck. I'm talking about right now. Y'all ain't shit. Argue with your mama.
They'll intimidate and toe the line, and when someone finally takes it seriously, they fall back on, whoa, I was just kidding. But when you're responsible for a business with employees who depend on you, you don't get to roll the dice on whether or not someone's serious. Yeah. And it's not just about me. I told the officer straight up, yeah, I'm less worried about myself. I can handle my own, but I'm not arrogant or dumb enough to think that means I, or more importantly, my employees are invulnerable. I don't need to be scared of you to recognize that you might do something stupid. We've got female employees who shouldn't have to show up to work and wonder if some smelly, crazed dude is lurking around trying to intimidate people for content. Their safety isn't a joke. Their peace of mind isn't a joke. Credible threats don't come with disclaimers. They don't say, hey, just so you know, I'm about to cross the line. You only realize it when it's too late. So I took it seriously, and I'll do it again if it means protecting my people and my business. Because
as you should, as he should.
Here's the truth. If something happened and I brushed it off as just a joke, the same people calling me a fake libertarian would be the first ones screaming about how I failed to protect my employees.
The double standard. Exactly.
So, lose with those clowns, but I'll always choose the side that keeps my people safe. What's most important to understand here is that this isn't just hypothetical. He specifically named one of my employees. If I'm not mistaken, that's exactly what got his first Twitter account banned, making a video calling out one of my employees by name and threatening him. And again, being clear, this isn't just online antics. He's shown up at both my house and my business, but the latter, that has to be taken seriously, especially in Texas. You've already crossed the line, and we don't have to wait for you to do it again before we take further precautions and treat this like the credible threat that it is.
Like, honestly, that's the part that a lot of people don't understand, bro, especially with Texas, bro. Y'all, I don't know where these niggas must be from California or somewhere else other than Texas. Bro, y'all need to leave us the fuck alone, bro. Like, you don't have to like what I'm saying. You can talk about how I look. I don't give a fuck, right? Don't care. But when you start crossing the line and you start trying to find information and trying to find out where people live and find out what people are doing and all of this stuff, you're crossing a line, dude. You're crossing a line, and I don't care. Like, there's no joke there that to put there. It's facts. Some of y'all really are just perpetually online. Y'all don't have anything of value. Just saying, you don't. Because if you did, half the stuff that you'd be doing, if it happened to you, you'd be crying like a little bitch.
Because another fake narrative floating around out there is that I called the cops on him at that Dallas meetup. Never happened. It wouldn't even be funny if it wasn't so stupid. Here's the thing. The guy was recording himself the entire time he was at the meetup. Meanwhile, I never left the merch table. I was posted up, taking pictures, signing books, doing.
Eric didn't even know he was there. That's the crazy part. The business owner called.
My thing, never moved. At what time would I have had to call the cops? But here's where it gets really wild. This dude had a warrant out for his arrest and still decided that it was a smart idea to show up to the meeting, acting weird, and try to make a scene.
You guys all Icy fans? Brandon! You want an Icy?
Get him, Brandon. Get him, Brandon. Get him, Brandon.
Oh, Brandon is bouncing me, chat.
Oh my
in this
Get him,
public
Brandon.
parking lot.
Now, if he didn't know that warrant existed, that's not my problem. As a quick note, I don't have the power to issue warrants. That's not how this works.
Exactly.
We reported, and from there, it was up to the county to decide how they wanted to handle it. Whether they chose to just document the information or actively pursue charges required no further action from us beyond the initial report. And to be clear, this wasn't a case of us pressing charges. That's not how these things go. Once law enforcement has the information, it's completely out of our hands. The county decides whether or not to move forward. A lot of people seem to think that we somehow orchestrated his arrest, but
then also too, what makes it even worse is that in the video himself, he literally was sitting there singing to the cops, bro. The dude was literally telling telling an entire story, telling on himself rather.
that's not how the legal system works. Now, going back to the Dallas meetup, which happened after all of the initial stuff, this is the truth. It wasn't me who called the cops, it was the venue. He was bugging people, making folks uncomfortable apparently, and generally being a weirdo. The venue staff did what any professional venue would do. They called the police to handle it. Of course, the cops are gonna run names, and when they found out that he had a warrant, they handled it. Simple as that.
That dude got more arm hair than Eric July. He wanted to talk about shaving Eric July for fucking what, bro? Shave yourself first.
And if you don't believe me, here's the body cam footage that makes it crystal clear.
So pretty much what'll happen is we'll tell them they criminally trespass. If they come back to or your property again, they will be arrested.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are super uncomfortable, these guys out here.
Okay, I just need your permission. If you're the owner, you're allowed to do that. So, all right.
Fine, but he said get him out.
Cops even said themselves they were called because he was causing problems, not because I sicked them on him. There's also that police report that states what happened. It literally says the owner reported two people they wanted criminally trespassed at the location for videotaping customers and refusing to leave the business. So yeah, you're screaming at people while you record them, also being a creeper and recording from outside the window, even credit card transactions. Of course they wanted you out.
What a fucking boring loser. Woo! If you hit me, that would be bad for me. That's insane.
No, bro. He should have hit you, to be honest with you. He should have just decked you one good time. Everybody would have cheered. Brandon would have been the hometown hero that day, boy. I tell you what.
There's some friends here she wants to talk to. She's messaging them to give them some candy.
Yep.
It's fine. You'll just have to.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bother
You just
you.
have to stand off the sidewalk because it's private.
Well, give me a place to stand specifically.
You can stand right here.
Okay. Yeah, hi, chat. Brandon's trying to bounce me. He already threatened to beat me up.
Good. He should have. I'm not gonna lie to you. He should have. He should have decked you right in front of the business owner, and it would have made for a spectacle.
The guy running the door for offering to give out their comic books. After this, whenever I do leave, I'm going right to the warehouse, chat. Oh, I can't wait to go to the warehouse after this.
This dude's stupid as hell, bro. You gotta be 2 pints of stupid, bro. Like, this dude is fucking retarded, bro. You're literally telling people what you're gonna do. Premeditated.
Eric is in there hiding somewhere, chat, terrified of the fat kid in the cape.
Bro, Eric don't even know you exist.
Look at him.
Where's he? Where's he?
Put the phone into the window, asshole. Because Eric has to pretend that he doesn't know we're here and has to not look over here. If he looks over just once, we win for all of time. We hit a sore spot. They're trying really hard to keep us from filming them hanging around the table where they thought they were going to hide from us all night.
They're kicking us out, chat.
He told you.
I am chronically unhappy, you losers.
We know, stupid. That's what's wrong with you now. Calling someone a loser while calling yourself chronically unhappy is the most retarded cell phone that I've ever heard in my life.
I am chronically unhappy.
And honestly, this whole thing just proves that it was never about genuinely wanting to meet up or talk to me. If that was the goal, he could have RSVP'd, waited in line, and met me like everyone else, doing so respectfully. But that wouldn't have made good content, would it? It's all about making this a spectacle. Staying low-key and having a real conversation, that doesn't get clicks. Acting weird on camera while there's a warrant out for your arrest, that's internet gold. At least maybe in their mind. So another blatant lie floating around is that I somehow got beat in court. That's not how any of this works. I was never on trial. I wasn't the prosecutor. I wasn't the defendant. People really need to understand how these legal processes function. Once law enforcement got involved, the county picked up the case. It became their decision on how to proceed. The state makes the call, not me. If there were any changes in the charges, that's their decision.
That boy,
not mine. I didn't.
That boy, look, he looked like boy, that boy dressed like a disgruntled single mother. If he takes his shirt off, his titties go down to his stomach. Oh boy, these people aren't beating the allegations, man. Oh man, Eric called it. A lot of the Eric's detractors are fat, white, out of shape people. Oh Jesus Christ, bro! Come on, man. This man got arms like a black grandmother with the little dangly dangs right there.
Didn't control it. I didn't push for it. I didn't have a say in what the prosecution decided to do. And then there's this other wild narrative that I was either too scared to show up to court or refuse to testify. Let me break that down. First off, I was never served, period. And it's not like I was dodging that. I didn't dodge anything. There was no secret plot to avoid testifying. This whole idea seems to come from the fact that they never successfully served me as a witness, but I can't make sense of that for you. I wasn't hiding. They have my number, they have my address, and while I'm not at the warehouse every single day, which is kind of the whole point, I've got employees and a company to run, it's not like I was hard to find, and if they actually contacted me to testify, my statement would have been simple. Yeah, smelly old stalker guy stalks things I've already stated. That's it, that's the truth. But here's the most important thing. This wasn't a me versus him. It was never about that. This was the state versus the weirdo. Whatever conclusions the court came to had nothing to do with me. I wasn't on trial. I wasn't even part of the court proceedings. Again, I can't speak to where the confusion came from, even if it does stem from the county's handling of the situation. Once it was in their hands, how thoroughly they chose to pursue it is entirely up to them. I had no control over the approach they took or how far they decided to go with it. Look, all of this is just plain ridiculous. We're talking about comic books, and they shouldn't make people this crazy. But there's an undeniable addiction element to the internet that pushes some people over the edge. For certain creators, it's all about chasing engagement instead of focusing on content that actually makes them happy. And for others, it's this parasocial attachment clinging to people they don't even know, all in the name of drama and attention. They get so deep in these fake narratives that they can't backtrack without looking like complete fools. So they double down, lie more, and keep that cycle going, because that's what gets them paid. Drama farming isn't just a hobby for these people, it's their livelihood. They have to keep the bit alive no matter how ridiculous it gets, because telling the truth, well, that doesn't rake in as many views. And just to be clear, I'm not talking about people who share genuine criticism or voice honest concerns. Disagreeing with something doesn't make someone an outrage farmer. My colleagues and I have voiced plenty of critiques, but it comes from a place of actually caring about the things we talk about, whether it's an...
Thank you. That right there, that is the biggest thing. That is the biggest takeaway from all of this. The reason why they have gone after Eric specifically, because I'm using this right here. The reason why they've gone after Eric specifically is because they've seen Eric attack the big two, Marvel, DC, right? And they think that because Eric has attacked the big two, that they could do it to him, not paying attention to the fact that Eric is a comic book fan, okay? All you have to do is go through his older videos. He talks about this shit. He talks about music. He talks about some gaming stuff. He's talked about comics. And you can literally go through his videos and find the content. It's not that hard. And the same stances that he has now are the same stances that he's been solid on for years. It's not hard. We even talked about it. Me and Eric, I've had the pleasure of talking to Eric about it. And we've discussed some of the stuff. So how is it that you idiots can't seem to understand that? This is coming from a place of they actually like comics. They like Star Wars, since it's on the screen right now. They like these things, and they are critiquing it because, hey, I don't like, as a fan, I don't like where this is going. The problem is the people have ignored those said fans and kept going for the modern audience that don't really give a shit and that will just consume whatever they put out. They will retcon storylines for modern audiences and fuck up established narratives within the universe, you know what I'm saying, the entertainment universe, because modern audience. And it's fucking up the people that are established fans of the franchise that will put money into franchises. So now you have people doing their own thing, like Eric July with the Rippaverse. So now that Eric is doing his own thing, these clowns have literally said, okay, well, since Eric, we're gonna, since Eric is nitpicking at Marvel and DC, well, we're gonna do the same for him. And that's where y'all fuck up at. Okay? For two main reasons. Reason number one, Rippaverse is just getting started. The same level of critique that Eric has for Marvel and DC, right, is not the same level of critique that you can give the Rippaverse, because it's just starting. Marvel and DC have been around for decades. You feel me? So to have that same level of energy towards something that's just starting out doesn't necessarily work that way. Okay? Second reason, y'all just being fucking stupid. I couldn't think of the second reason, so I'm just gonna say y'all just fucking dumb as hell, okay? Because I forgot it. I really ain't gonna lie to you, I did kind of forget what the second reason was. But y'all just stupid as hell, bro. Okay? And once again, a lot of y'all that are taking time and hating Eric July in the Rippaverse, and not only Eric July in the Rippaverse, but fans of the Rippaverse, your content is because you're not doing anything. You don't have any content. Okay? Some of y'all wasn't even interesting to begin with. And the only reason why y'all getting this level of attention now is because you have to hate somebody else to be somewhat successful. And like I told another idiot, okay, that wanted to be a play on another frog idiot, okay, I told Frog Tony's stupid ass that this drama shit that y'all be doing is flash in the pan. I told y'all this. The drama only goes so far. And the very second you try to create something else, ain't nobody gonna fuck with it, because don't nobody care. All they know is drama. Y'all need to get over yourselves, because you're not that important. You're not doing anything. You're not putting anything out there. And when you do put stuff out there, it sucks. Get mad, fuss, cuss at me about it. I don't give a fuck.
Industry, a franchise, or a creative project. We've been fans. We've supported these things in the past, yes, and in some cases we still do. There's a huge difference between that and the folks who fake outrage for views because they know that sells. That's the disingenuousness that I'm calling out. But what's really wild is the sheer obsession some of these people have with seeing us fail. And look, if they don't like what we're doing, that's fine. They're entitled to their opinion, but they've made hating us a core part of their identity. It's not just about disliking the work. It's about desperately needing us to fail to the point to where they lie and twist anything to fit whatever narrative. They also...
So, and this also brings about a good question too, all right? If Eric fails, then what? What does that mean for you? You've made that your identity, so your identity is gone. And for some of y'all so-called comic book creators, y'all don't have anything going, so can you do better than what the Rippaverse is producing? Can you produce the same level of interest, the same level of numbers? No, you can't. You too busy over here drawing people's nipples. You're too busy over here trying to get money out of people and not providing fulfillment for the projects. We got idiots that have 4 years late plus projects. People are starting to ask for refunds now. That's how bad it is. But some people are scared to ask for refunds because you might dox them. It's fucking stupid, bro. So if Eric July fails, what's in it for you? Some of y'all don't have anything to begin with anyway. So you've made hating Eric your personality. And you can talk shit about me if you want to. Here's the thing. I'm actually working on shit. I actually have a resume of work. Several works. I have producer credits musically on a couple of titles. Like, don't play with me. Okay? Let's not do this. Do something better with your fucking life.
So do what you've never seen myself, nor really anybody in my circle advocate. They hover over and get angry and aggravated just because someone online says something positive about myself or what the Rippaverse is doing. That's just bizarre. And for what? We're not in anyone's way. We're not stopping them from doing anything. Yet they act like our success is some personal attack against them. And here's
because they don't have any. Your success hurts them because it shows them every fucking day that they are shit. I'm just going to put it straight like that. It shows them every day that they're inadequate, that they're not trying hard enough, that they're not working like they should be. And instead of them taking the time to get to work and work on their content, work on that comic that they want to do or whatever that they decide to do, they literally sit up here, watch everything you do, Eric. They watch everything the Rippaverse do. They watch everything Rippaverse supporters like myself do. Pocket watching, bro. Because they can't get success themselves. So they watch other people do it and they sit there and see. And I call it like this. They have bitter bitch syndrome. BBS. Because that's something that women do. Akin to women in a fucking hair salon that just sit up here and gossip all day while they're under the hair dryer, talking shit about other people. That's exactly what they're like. Some of them don't even really care about comics like that. And a lot of them don't even give a shit. They don't even, they hardly support the comics in Comicsgate. I'm just going to be honest with you, okay? A lot of them don't even support Ethan Van Sciver. They don't. They really don't give a fuck. They don't support Vito. They don't support Frog Tony. They over here infighting with each other as we speak. And good. That's all you're good for. I said what I said and I stand on it. Now, if you want to discuss why I feel that way, we can have a discussion maybe if I feel like it. But I'm not about to do that. I got other things I'd rather be fucking doing, bro. Going back and forth with y'all all the time. What's wrong with them?
Here's the kicker. Even if, hypothetically, the Rippaverse failed tomorrow, which, let's be honest, isn't happening, these people would still be miserable because the root of their problem isn't us, it's them.
I am chronically unhappy.
The anger, that desperation.
Yeah, I knew that clip was coming back. I knew it was coming back. Let's go.
It won't just go away if we disappear. They'll just find someone else to obsess over. And that's the part that people need to wake up to. It's on the audience to vet the information they consume, understand that a lot of what's being said isn't rooted in truth, but in desperate need for clicks, engagement, and ultimately a paycheck. Drama is currency for these folks, and they'll sell whatever narrative they need to keep it flowing. But through all of this, I want to take a moment to say how I appreciate our supporters, the ones who go to bat for me and this company. It genuinely means the world to have people who stand with us, who see through this nonsense, and who continue to support what we're building here. And look,
hey, I feel you, man. I'm as somebody that does some of this from time to time, bro. I appreciate it, man. I want you to keep going. I said this before and I'll say it again. If Eric himself disowned me, right? Because he doesn't own me either way. But if Eric himself disowned me, right, I'd still say what I say. Because a lot of y'all are just lying out the crack of your teeth. You feel me? For those that have teeth left. Y'all have this weird obsession with people because you're unsuccessful. Just because you're miserable and you're unsuccessful doesn't mean everybody else has to be.
I know it's easy to get angry about all of this, trust me, but I'm a man of God, and at the end of the day, I pray for people like this because it is ultimately sad. This guy became a useful idiot being pushed by others who don't care if he ruins his life. They'll laugh and mock him, and when he's done, they'll just move on to the next guinea pig. And what's worse, he doesn't even realize that none of them would ever go as far as he did.
And barely people will pay for his books. The only reason why people will pay for this nigga's books is to keep him going, to keep him fed, and keep him doing drama. Make that make sense, y'all. Like, I want y'all to realize that. Wake up on that.
One of them would risk their own freedom or safety for the same bit they encouraged him to do. They sit back, cheer him on, and watch him self-destruct for their own entertainment. So yeah, I pray for people like that. It's foolishness, and I hope that one day they realize it before it's too late. But thanks for listening. I'm glad we could break down some of this. Now it's time for me to get back to work and focus on what matters.
Don't be the kind of business the Rippaverse is, because that's the kind of business that you don't want to be.
What the fuck? Successful, nigga? Successful? What? You don't want to be successful? Of course you don't. The only thing you were successful in is getting locked up. I want to fail like that. If Eric Jeliza fail you, I want to fail like that. Give me a couple million to fail. I'll be good. Fuck wrong with it, bro? Fuck wrong with it, bro? Yeah, that's it. But yeah, that was it, man. And honestly, I hope that clears things up. Eric did a really good job of clearing things up, that this is one-sided. It clearly is. And y'all seen me go at a couple of these people from time to time. And that's basically all this boils down to. This is over comic books, y'all. Okay? All of this nonsensical nonsense, this stupid shit right here, this stupid shit.
But thanks for listening.
It's all of this stupidity, all of this retardation. It's literally over comic books, bro. All of this person showing up, being retarded, causing all of this drama. It is because of comics. You're mad at someone else's success. You wish it was you or your friends, whatever the fuck. And instead of pushing your friends or pushing yourself to be successful, you end up like this clown. Or you have somebody like this clown that's a useful idiot. Because really, this dude is literally a pawn for other people. This dude's a pawn for Dick Masterson. I don't care. You can get mad. He's a pawn for fucking Vito and them. Fucking Frog Tony likes his ass. I don't give a fuck. Y'all can stay over there. You're fucking weirdos. And this is not an invitation for you to come bother me. No, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Leave me the fuck alone. I like what I like, and I don't like you. I don't. I like what I like. I enjoy what I enjoy when I have time to enjoy it. But I'm busy working on my stuff. I'm building my dynasty. That's what I'm doing. So while you're over here watching videos of Eric July or even myself trying to find out what people are doing, you're teaming up with other people that had a problem with me in the past, trying to give them little information, that you're thinking that you're doing something. Bro, don't nobody give a fuck. Keep being unsuccessful. That's the problem. I have never seen a successful person hate on somebody else. He even said it. He's chronically unhappy, y'all. That's what he said. He said, I'm chronically unhappy. Do better. Find something else to do. Make your own comic book. The pie isn't fixed, y'all. Make your own work. That's what YouTube is for. Make your own work. Don't be like this guy. Okay? Don't be like this. Don't be like Ethan Van Sciver. Don't be like Frog Tony. Don't be like any of these niggas on that so-called Comicsgate shit, the new Comicsgate shit. Doing drama farming instead of comics. Don't be a drama farmer and then complain when I'm gonna quit YouTube because of too much drama, so I'm gonna just stay back. But at the same time, you're over here entertaining these people. You know, entertaining drama with Frog Tony, entertaining drama with this nigga. Y'all think that shit's cute and trying to play middle ground. We shut up, okay? Let's just call a spade a spade. Shut the fuck up. Because if it happened to you, you be the first one crying and bitching. You be the first one wanting to, I'm gonna quit YouTube because it's too much drama. Fucking idiots, bro. A lot of you, bro. Like, don't play with me, bro. Don't do that. Y'all need the drama. That's because y'all have little else to offer. Y'all need the drama. I don't. I'm just speaking the truth. And if, like I said, if Eric July disagreed with me today, it won't change. Big shout out to everybody at the Rippaverse, man. You know, that's doing their thing right now. Shout out to everybody. You know what I'm saying? From Brandon Saitama. We gonna call it Brandon Saitama. That's what we're gonna call him, to Mr. NDA himself. You know what I'm saying? To everybody at the Rippaverse, Saskas, everybody. You feel me? Y'all keep up the good work. Y'all keep doing what you do. And y'all continue to be great. Y'all can find me on everywhere, 210LG on everywhere. Instagram 210_LG. You know what I'm saying? I got projects on the way. I got music on the way, y'all. Sit tight. And I appreciate y'all rocking with me as I continue to build a dynasty. That's going to be it for me. I've kept this on long enough. I got some other things I got to take care of. I'll be catching you guys on the next time. Peace. And God bless.
The Dynasty